and what is the evidence that you have to produce. So whatever we come up with on this side, that's the documentation that you have to hand in. Yeah? But before we talk about task and evidence, there is a due date that is identified on the front page of your assessment. Now we're not going to set that due date yet. We're first going to talk through the task and the evidence. And then we're going to see what is a realistic due date. A due date is supposed to be 21 days from the day of the workshop. So that would be, I think, the 18th of December. 21 days from today. Today is the 29th. Or the 9th. Yes, the 20th of December. Yeah. But, don't write that down. We're first going to look at what is the evidence that you need to produce, and is the 20th of December a realistic date? Okay? So, let's begin. What is the first task that you have to do in this particular assessment?
Pick a person to coach.
Yes?
Find a suitable subject.
Find a suitable subject. Why? For what?
A person, I mean.
Why? What has to do with this person?
To do an ILP.
Okay, so you need to create an ILP. What if you already have created an ILP? Is reviewing an ILP acceptable? Yes.
Of course.
So, your first task is create. Is that the right word? No. Because whose ILP is it? Someone else's.
That's why you've got to pick. That's why you've got to pick somebody first, isn't it? Before you can come up with an ILP, because you need to know who you're doing this with.
Yes, but yeah. So firstly, you need to identify individuals whom you will assist in developing or reviewing an ILP. Yep, that's the first thing. How many individuals do you need to find? Two. So, is there any of you that cannot think of who you would approach?
And does it have to be work related, or can it be on any subject?
Doesn't have to be work related.
Okay.
Today, how many people have developed ILPs? You all have, so there's a ready resource here already. Yeah? But would you be, if you were to choose two individuals from here, would you be developing the ILPs or would you be reviewing it? You'd be reviewing it. Yeah? So, if you cannot find two people within your work context, there are people here that you can choose to collaborate with. Yeah? Okay, so what is the evidence that you need to produce for this?
And then
The names, right? The participants, who they are. And remember, you need to let them know that they are participating in an assessment that you are doing. Yeah? Okay, so that's number one. What's the next thing you have to do? So you've got these two people.
You use the. Would you use the template to write up the learning, the ILP?
If they don't have one,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that
Yes.
you can just put the evidence on the template you've got in there.
So the next thing is you need to make sure that they complete ILP in a suitable template, because it may not be that one. It may not be that one. It may be your organization's one. Yeah? Or it could be something like this. As long as it fulfills the criteria of an ILP, which you are aware of. So your evidence is ILP templates completed or ILP template reviews, sorry. ILP template or reviews, because some of you would be reviewing it, completed, times 2. Yeah? Remember, if you are reviewing an existing ILP, it's the review of that ILP. And what would that look like? An existing ILP with notes that the person has, or notes indicating some of the changes that they made, some of the comments that they're making, where they act, etc. Yeah? Okay, what's the next thing?
Getting someone who's going to be an observer.
Yes. This needs to be observed. This reviewing, complete an ILP in a suitable template. Now the next thing is to actually to review. No. Sorry, complete or review an ILP. Yeah. So the third one is observation of the ILP development or review. Now, how are you going to achieve that?
Ask my mother to do it.
Your mother?
To observe me.
What is a suitable observer? If your mother holds 409H, she's highly suitable. If your mother has an education, a basic education certificate or qualification, she's highly suitable. If she's the manager in an organization and supervises or manages others, she has appropriate experience. Is she any of those?
No.
Then she can't.
Okay.
As much as you'd love her to do it. So you need to find an appropriately qualified or experienced person. Any one of you sitting here would be appropriately qualified or experienced, given what I've heard you are doing at the moment. You are already involved in the training and development in you can definitely do each other.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Who's going to be your review, your observer? Because you're not appropriately qualified or appropriately experienced, in that you're not engaged in training and development. So how are you going to do it? Someone like you said, there's a 409H. Did you know someone? Okay, that's excellent. They could be observed. If you do not have someone, I'm available.
oh, really?
Of course. You can record what you do and send it to me and I can verify it. You could ask me to be Skyped in and I can verify it. And if I can't do it, there are many other people in VR training who could. Yeah? So don't sit there and be stuck without someone. You immediately email me. Did you get the little message?
Not
Do
yet.
you have an email address?
No, I think Nenya sent out an email. Not yet. Okay, on Monday she said. But basically, whoever your facilitator is, you can email them at any time. Please not. Try not to do it over the weekends. But if you get this epiphany on a Sunday morning at 1 a.m. and you feel you have to email me, do it. I have until that evening and Monday morning to get back to you. Yeah? But we will clear our emails at the end of the day. Our phones have email, by the way. And so we'll either get back to you that evening or the next morning. Yeah? But don't sit on something and it's actually going to prevent you from moving forward. Ask the questions. Remember, there are no stupid questions. There are questions and then there are responses to the questions. That's it. Yeah? So, the person observing you has to be appropriately qualified. And on the observation checklist, it explains to you what is appropriately qualified. And those categories I mentioned, those are the categories. Yeah? And the person has to tick that they are prepared to be telephoned to confirm that they have observed you. Yeah? Okay, so the evidence here would be, what would be the evidence?
Completion of the sheet.
Yeah. Completion of the observation, what's it called? Checklist?
Verification.
Verification. Someone's been reading. Thank you. Now, what's the next thing we do? Well, I shouldn't be saying we, I should be saying you.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's such an honest response. I think we're stuck now.
Perfection, is it? Or?
Do you have to reflect on the IRP? No, but who has to reflect on it?
The person doing it. So
Yes. So you need to make sure that the participant completes the feedback on the ILP development or review. Yep. What's the evidence? Participant feedback form completed. And how many of those will you have to include? Okay, gosh, we're almost getting there. Now what do you do?
Send it, yeah.
No, your task isn't finished yet.
Oh,
You
you're writing
would
it.
love that. What about coaching? Now what do you do? What comes next?
Personal reflections of reflections.
Oh, but you haven't even coached.
Yeah, coaching.
How can you reflect on what you haven't done yet?
You didn't see me. I was coaching and 2 each and got them observed.
Okay, so the next thing you have to do is you have to coach these 2 people. Now you're going to coach them against these learning plans. Yeah? So has the focus been established?
So overall you see each person 3 times.
We'll come to that.
Oh.
Yeah? It's first one step at a time. Have they got an established focus?
Yes.
Yes.
Where's the established focus? Yeah. So you don't need to establish a focus. It's the other 3 things you have to do. Yeah? So now you have to coach the participants against the ILP or the reviewed ILP. Yeah? Now, what's the evidence? Donna, now we come to that.
The tick list of the observer.
Yeah. So the first thing you need to have there,
And the reflection of
Now, before you can have the tick list, what evidence must you have? Your coaching plan. Yeah? You need to show that you actually have a plan, that you plan those questions. Yeah? You also need to have an outcome. You need to reflect on the outcome of the coaching session. Or not reflect, you need to write up the outcome of the coaching session. And then you need to reflect on your reflection log. Yeah? It's called a log. What's it called? Yeah, let's just call it a reflection log. Yeah? So those are your 3 pieces. Where do I get this thing about write up the outcome? Where am I getting that from? If you go to page 13, I verify that coaching session identifies areas for improvement. Somewhere you need to write up the outcome of the coaching session. Because as you're coaching, are there any issues that can be done that we can improve on? Yeah, that needs to be written up. Okay?
Are you saying that needs to be written up on the observer verification?
No, it needs to be written up as part of your coaching plan. So in your coaching plan, you need to make sure that you have a section, suggestions for improvement.
How can that be done before the review?
Because as you're doing it, as you're running the session, you will ask the person, are there any ways in which we could improve this, or are there any suggestions that you make for improvement, and you will write it up.
Like you did
it's
against
done.
the board there, similar to what you've done
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. So in the session you ask them, yes, like I just did there. So did you find the session useful? Yes. What did you find useful? Is there anything, any suggestions to make, anything we could do better? And they will say, yes, stop asking me all those questions. Not knowing that that's what coaching is all about. But okay, you will write that down. Yeah?
So just to make clear, the coaching plan is the plan that you've been written before you go into
Yeah,
the session.
That's right. Yes. That's what you write down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the outcome is really their
That's
individual learning plan.
Yeah. And then this reflection log, that's your review that you can only do afterwards. Now you'll say, okay, I think this went well, this didn't go well. I really didn't ask the right questions. This person was totally confused, I can tell, because my questions were not focused. And it doesn't matter how positive or negative your review is. You're not being assessed on that. You're being assessed on the fact that you have reflected on your session. Yeah? Okay. What other evidence is needed?
The feedback forms. Oh no, they have to have that.
You don't need feedback.
Down the line.
Does your coaching session have to be observed? Yes. So again, you need observer verification. And that's it. That's your assessment.
So who should be my observer while I'm
Okay.
coaching? Because if I'm doing it in my work environment, how do I find someone that qualifies to watch while I'm coaching them?
Can one of your colleagues do it?
Suppose, yeah.
Yeah. If
So
one
they
of,
don't need a special qualification.
are your colleagues teaching?
They
Are they training?
they teach part of.
Yeah. Then they're
Yeah.
qualified. Yes. Yeah. They have the necessary experience. They may not have 498. They may not have a teaching qualification, but they are also engaged in teaching others. Yeah.
So if one of them.
Yeah. One of them could.
If you were doing peer, who would be the observer?
If you were doing peer, you'd have to either find a manager or another peer, or you could bring in someone like me. You could record the session, send it to us, and we would verify it. Yeah. But a peer cannot, in that situation, the peer cannot. They involve and you involve. Yeah. Remember, let's just go through those criteria of a verifier. On any of the pages, 11 or 12, on any of those verifications. I am a registered, accredited assessor for adult education and training, level 4, unit standard 498. If they have 498, perfect. If they don't, I've been accredited with unit 7114. If they have, perfect. If they don't, so each of this should be all. As the observer, I agreed that I meet one of the following requirements, not all of them. I hold an equivalent qualification, so if you have an education qual, you can, or can demonstrate equivalent experience. So if they're also a teacher like you, it's equivalent experience. Yeah? They are teaching, they are delivering to others. And then they have to tick that I am aware that I may be contacted in relation to my observation of the candidate. We do need to fix this. It should say and, because they have to tick that one. But there's always room for improvement, so we'll make that improvement. So this is what you need to provide, and that is your assessment. Now, you did not receive the email, so this is my contact email address. And notice the exceptionally neat handwriting. Look how slowly I have to go. Nasli.effendi@g. Oh my gosh, that's my personal one. Not that one. See my brain. Oh. At brtraining. .co.nz. Again, I cannot emphasize enough. If there's something you don't understand, communicate. Do not wait. Procrastination is not going to get you to completing this assessment. Just dive in and do it. If ever that ad made sense, well, not for Tiger Woods, but for the rest of the world, just do it. There is no better teacher. And remember, mistakes, not knowing is the beginning of knowing. When you make a mistake, it's the beginning of learning how to do something. I had a university professor in my political science second year. He would, during the lecture, instead of asking us if we had questions to ask, he would say, come on, make a mistake. It's just awesome, just so empowering. Okay, anything? You are saturated, aren't you? It's a heavy session. So, it's
Sorry, these things at the back.
Those are
The
the
assessments.
judgment statements.
The assessment schedule.
Okay. Why is the assessment schedule there? That is so that you can see how you're going to be judged.
So how can be a observer?
Well, no, we might install it.